So I noticed there were a lot of people on Twitter um, saying things about like my account was just started in 2023. I'm sorry that I gave myself time to process, time to work through things before I jumped on Twitter and started. I know all of you take one hormone and then you become trans rights activists. I wanted to give myself time to really explore my feelings and detransition before I shared them with you. But if you want to see the truth, this is the truth. I'm an almost 30-year-old man. This is what I look like. This is what I sound like as an almost 30-year-old man. This is what happens when you let people transition in adolescence before they've had a chance to grow up, before they had a chance to even learn who they were. Not just let, but pressure people to transition at these ages. Young, vulnerable people who are already so suggestible.
That is absolutely 100% true. Think about that. There are grown men and women, allegedly, pushing for young men and women in their, anywhere from like 12, as young as like 9, any to their early 20s to have the right not only, but they want them to go ahead and transition, right? People that act on a whim on a daily basis because they're not sure, they're not standing firm on their identity because they're currently building their identity as human beings. They can't drive, they can't smoke, they can't drink, but you want them to have the right to go ahead and change their sex permanently, mutilate their reproductive systems, right, for your agenda, to have more weight, for you as a wicked and weird individual to think it's okay to, because the thing is, it's all about normalizing what your wicked way of living is by forcing other people to do it, right? I heard somebody say on a podcast, I think, that his wife when she was younger was a tomboy. What if in her time, right, maybe 20 years ago, it was also okay to push young men and women that are questioning who they were into changing sexes because they didn't behave as what's traditionally perceived as being a man or a woman, right? She got out of that phase 2, 3 years later. She acted and became a woman, the woman that she now is. But what if she had had somebody in her corner trying to tell her that she should change sexes because she didn't act or think like a woman at that specific time? And it's all about people taking advantage of other people. They are also predators, right, in these public places, but because they have a beautiful message that is appealing, that it's all about freedom and expression itself and not being bound by traditional perceptions or expectations of sexes, people welcome it. But don't get it twisted. This is not right. This is actually, like he said, pushing people to do things that they might not want to do because they don't know better.
And I feel like everyone is ignoring the pain because they are afraid that it threatens their choices and their narrative. If you want to transition in your 20s, you've had a chance to be a man or a woman, and this is what you want to do. Okay, that's one thing. But the active pressuring of people to transition so they can preserve their femininity, which is what happened with me. I was told that if I allowed myself to age, that I would become masculine and that it would never be possible and that I would do it anyway, and that I would be a more masculine transgender person like them. And so I made the choices that I thought were right for me at the time. I do take accountability. I did it. I did it in secret from my parents. I take accountability for all my choices. But when is the trans community going to take accountability for theirs? For leading me down this path? This is the face of an almost 30-year-old man. This is the voice of an almost 30-year-old man. And you're telling me that this isn't.
That is absolutely crazy. And that's a great point to make. A lot of people, and you got to think about, right? In life in general, a lot of the things that we think, our opinions in a given moment are fleeting. We are feeling that in that specific moment because of a lot of different uh, things, right? A lot of different reasons that might vary if you let it time to seep down and wait, you think it through. But like he said, he spoke to other transgender people that were basically casting their own opinions and regrets upon that person. So instead of letting them wait it out, think and rely on the people that had his best interest at heart, which probably was his parents, right? They wanted to push him to act so as to kind of correct what they thought they should have done, right? They thought they should have transitioned prior because they then wouldn't have had any masculine characteristics once they transitioned from a man to a woman. So therefore, that would have been the best decision for him to do as well, right? And they basically fought for dominion over his mind against his parents, who had his best interests at heart. And now, a few years later, he realizes that shit. I should have waited it out because this was a phase, like a lot of things in life. Now it's too late. And so that's the thing. That's the big consequence that a lot of youngsters are going to face when in these uh, environments, right? Liberal places that have, with their teachers trying to force them, trying to basically cast different mindsets upon them. And because they're young and impressionable and being taught these things by people that are in positions of power, like their teachers and other people in the school system, they think that that's a good thing to listen to not to beat a dead horse, but you got to be wary of what's happening, right? We see consistently more talks of things like that and within schools, right? I mean, Canada, colleges, CEGEPs, universities, and the teachers are actively propagating this kind of a message upon young impressionable kids that don't even know what field they want to pursue. They keep on changing fields every 3 months, but yet you want them to change a sex for the rest of their lives. All I could say is you arm yourself mentally adequately so that you don't fall victim to what's being propagated because it's not in your best interest. If you like the content, subscribe, share, like the video, roll to 1,000 subs. Peace.